Thought I had to sneeze. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you've never been here before, my name is Jazz. It's so nice to meet you. If you've been subscribed here for a while now, welcome back. I am back. It's been a little minute. I am making this video today because I have a lot of people around me right now that are struggling with something, and a lot of them come to me for advice about it. So I kind of felt like I should just kind of like write some things down and just make a little video, just kind of putting it all together. I originally was going to post a video about my spiritual journey, but I think I'm going to put a pause on that and just let my journey unfold just a little bit more, because I am finally taking it a little bit more seriously, like being a little bit more intentional with that. So today's video is going to be about just how to be more positive. So, you know, everyone around me is always talking about how I'm so positive and I'm always like this positive, precious angel of light and everything. So I just figured I could write a few things down that maybe could help someone, because they help me. I used to struggle with depression like really, really bad. I was a negative person for a really long time. Not as much recently, but for a while, you know, I would be a really negative person. And these things that I started incorporating, I actually just kind of did them when I felt like it. I didn't do them super regularly. So this really all depends on like what you can do for yourself. And I know not everyone is in a position to do probably everything that I list, but most of it does come from within. The few tips that I'm gonna give, it's pretty much 6 tips of how to be a little bit more positive. So hopefully that they help. If you are excited to hear about it, I'm just gonna dive right in, not keep chickadee chatting. So tip number one on how to be a little bit more positive: start your day with the intention to have a good day. That could be, you know, waking up and when you go into the bathroom, look in the mirror and say, wow, what a beautiful day. Today's gonna be a great day. Today is a great day. Things like that, because then you already have it in your mind that it's a good day or that it's going to be a good day. It kind of starts to unfold that way, and when you know it's feeling like a good day, chances are you'll be a little bit more positive throughout that day. Part of that would be just kind of remember what you're grateful for. I go back into that a little bit more in another tip, but if you remember what you are grateful for, it just reminds you that you do have things to be happy about and you have things to be positive about and things to look forward to. Another part of starting your day with the intention to have a good day is if you have like a little ritual or a little morning routine that like makes you feel good and gets you like in a good mood for the day, I would suggest doing that. Like some people could like, you know, wake up and drink their coffee and watch the news. Some people can, you know, wake up and do a little bit of yoga. Some people can wake up and like do a run, you know, like not everybody does the same thing, but whatever works for you and whatever makes you feel like you're going to start your day off right. If you do this one thing, just make sure to incorporate that. And obviously you want to wake up on time to do that. Tip number 2 on trying to be more positive: think before you speak. I know that's easier said than done, and everybody's minds run a mile a minute, some a little bit, maybe a little less than others. But if you can take the time to kind of take a deep breath and think about what you're going to say before you say it, you have the ability to change whether it's going to be a negative comment or a positive one. You can't always control how people talk to you or how people make you feel, but you can always control how you respond to that and how you react to that. And if you try to react in a way that isn't offensive, even if they offend you, it just kind of makes situations play out a little bit better, and then it kind of makes the energy a little bit lighter and a little bit more positive, at least on your own end, because at the end of the day, it all comes from within you. Be intentional about what you say. Like I said, I know a lot of us, our minds run a mile a minute. We just kind of say things because it's what we're used to saying. But if you could take that second and just take a deep breath, like if you normally would make fun of someone, just think, obviously you are the one saying these words. So if you see something and you want to make fun of someone, just think to yourself, well, I wouldn't feel that good if somebody made fun of me. Maybe I shouldn't say something like that, you know, or, you know, that's just an example. Or if you're used to being like, oh my God, I hate my job, just take a second, take a deep breath. At least you have a job. That's one of those things. Be grateful for what you have, especially in what we have going on right now with COVID and everything. A lot of people lost their jobs. People lost family members. Like, we all have to be grateful for what we still have in the situations that we're going through right now. Tip number 3, for trying to be more positive, separate yourself from the next person. What I mean by that is sometimes it's hard for us to be positive when we're around a negative person, and sometimes it's hard for us to be positive when we're taking something that someone is saying and taking it personally. Sorry, I keep looking down because I have notes. Oh wow. Separate yourself from the next person, as in, some people will be negative in a sense that if they're not where they want to be in life and they see someone else that looks like they're where they want to be in life, and they'll be like, oh, I wish I was there. Oh, they are living a life better than mine, and things like that. If you can separate from yourself, everybody's on their own journey. We all came from different parents. If we didn't come from different parents, we were born at different times, and we're all on our own path. Everybody's on their own way to somewhere, and we have to figure that out for ourselves. We can't look at someone else and be envious, because at the end of the day, that's just going to take away from our heart and what we have inside, and what we have inside is what's going to push us to where we want to be. It's all about we create our own reality. We are going to do what is best for us in our own lives. We're not going to do what's best for someone else's life, and someone else shouldn't have to do what's best for our lives. So always try to remember to separate yourself from the next person, because at the end of the day, you're all that you have. Nobody can take you away from you. So you have to make sure that you're comfortable with yourself and that you're content with what you have running, because you have to make sure that you're making the best decisions for yourself, if that makes sense. Try to be genuine when it comes to others. I did like this exercise a couple years ago. It was like a fitness thing, and I didn't finish it, but it was like one of those things where you have like little tasks to do. And one of the tasks was to just like compliment 5 people. When you make someone feel good about themselves, it kind of makes you feel good about yourself, just because it's like, what you have inside, if it's beautiful, which it is, what you have inside is beautiful, okay? Don't ever let anyone tell you that it's not, and don't ever let anyone make you feel like it's not. But what you have inside is beautiful, and when you share that with someone else, it's like a reciprocation of the positive energy, and it's such a beautiful feeling. Like when you can compliment someone and it just be a wholehearted, genuine compliment, like, oh my gosh, and then seeing how they feel about it, how they react, it's like such a magical feeling, and it's just something that, I don't know, it makes you feel good about yourself, and that helps with being more positive as well. Tip number 4 about being more positive. This is what I was gonna go back to. It's be grateful. If it helps, you can sit down and write down a list of 5 things that you're grateful for. We all, like I said, have lost a lot this year. Some people have lost jobs. Some people have lost family members. Some people have lost hope in humanity. My words are running together. But at the end of the day, we have to be grateful for what we do still have. A lot of us still have family. A lot of us still have a job. A lot of us got a new job, a better job. A lot of us got out of a toxic job. A lot of us got out of toxic relationships. A lot of us, welcome new family members. There's a lot of things that we've done, and it doesn't even have to be family. Like, you can be grateful for a new pair of shoes that you just got. You can be grateful for a new bed set that you just got. You could be grateful that you have kids that love you or family that loves you. You can be grateful for your pets. You can be grateful for literally anything. But if you remember what you're grateful for, it helps the outlook of your life shift, and that helps you be more positive. Negativity is kind of like equivalent to pessimism. So if you're a pessimist, you're not going to feel like life is worth it, pretty much. But if you think about what you're grateful for, it makes life feel worth it, and it helps you feel a little bit more optimistic to looking forward to the next day. A part of being grateful is going back to tip number 2 about thinking before you speak. Try not to complain so much, because that just kind of brings on being ungrateful. We're more than likely not going to get ourselves into a situation that we don't want to be in. So as an example, if you go to work every single day, try not to complain so much about work, because at least you have a job to go to. You're going to be able to make money. You're going to bring in that paycheck. You're going to pay your bills. You're going to set yourself up for the future. XYZ, right? So you don't want to complain about that every single day, because what if you didn't have that job? How would you feel? It's too much. Don't complain that you have to wash your own dishes. Like, at the end of the day, at least you have working hands in order to wash your own dishes. At least you have dishes to wash. Some people don't have dishes. Some people don't have a sink to wash their dishes in, and I don't want to relate it to, some people have it worse, but sometimes you have to remember, like, at the end of the day, all of us have something that someone else doesn't have. And regardless of if someone else has it or not, we want to be grateful that we are blessed to be able to use and experience this life that we have. Another part of not complaining is, if you don't like something about your life, or if you don't like something about yourself, you have the power to change it. It may not be the easiest thing ever to change that thing about yourself, but you can. And maybe you can't change it right away, but if you're taking the steps to change these things that you don't like in your life, it makes it a little bit more bearable to deal with these things, so that you can move forward to the next chapter and then be happy with what you're going to do next. If you try to change how much you complain and being more grateful about the things you have going on in your life, it definitely shifts that reality that you have going, and it makes it a little bit more positive and a little bit more uplifting to be, experiencing the life that you have. Tip number 5 on being more positive. Surround yourself with more positive people. Now, when I say that, I don't mean like if you have negative people around you, don't ever see them or talk to them, but you want to kind of separate, like I said, separate yourself from that person. So if you're going to be around negative people, you got to remember that that's not you, that's them. And you got to make sure that their negativity doesn't seep into you. Also, if you're going to surround yourself with positive people, you don't want to be surrounding yourself with positive people just so you can be negative and try to rain on somebody's parade. Like, don't do that. That's not cool. That's not what positive people want. Like, a positive person is going to want to see you happy too. They're going to want to see you be positive too. Negative people, misery loves company, but positivity loves company too, in a positive way. Like, nobody positive wants to be around somebody that's super negative. An optimist isn't going to want to be around a pessimist. That's just kind of the way that it works. Like-minded people like to find each other. So if you want to be a little bit more positive and you're not sure how, I'm sure everybody has at least somebody positive in their life that they can reach out to, whether it's online or in person, or a family member, a friend, an ex, whatever it is. If you have someone around that's a little bit more positive and you want to be around them just to kind of feel that energy, or if you want to even get some ideas like, hey, like, what keeps you going every day? Like, how do you, things like that, then that works, that helps. And last but not least, tip number 6 on how to be more positive. This one is probably the most important because, like I said, positivity comes from within. So one of the most important parts about being positive would be to practice self-care. A lot of people have very negative self-talk, and when you talk negative about yourself, it just brings you down. And if you're bringing yourself down, come on, man, what are you really doing? Like, at the end of the day, like I said, we all only have ourselves. You can't live your life hating yourself, because at the end of the day, it's only going to be miserable, and there's no reason to live that way. We are all on this beautiful earth. We are all beautiful people. We all have so much potential and power within ourselves. I used to be really, really deep in that boat where I didn't have self-worth, like, for crap. Like, I was sad all the time. I used to talk so much crap about myself for the way that I looked, my weight, how unaccomplished I am, like all sorts of different things. And when you do that, it manifests that way. And your life changes to manifest what you are putting out into the world. So if you want to be more positive, a good thing to do would be to practice some self-care. Do something that makes you feel good about yourself. If it's at the expense of someone else, obviously don't do that, but do things that make you feel good about yourself. Do a facial, go for a jog, like I said, exercise, which is like the same as go for a jog. Let me think of another thing. Learn a new skill that you've always wanted to learn. Like, do something that pushes yourself out of your comfort zone that you've always wanted to do, so that you can say that you did it. You really want to make sure that you are taking care of yourself, because you take care of yourself. You want to make sure that you take care of yourself, because at the end of the day, you're who you have. It's not guaranteed that someone else is going to take care of you. It's not guaranteed that someone else is going to talk so sweet to you and make you feel loved. You have to make sure that you feel loved, and you have to make sure that you feel that from within, because at the end of the day, nothing in this life belongs to us. Everything can be taken away at any moment, and you have to make sure that you can feel whole and complete on your own. And if you can't feel whole and complete on your own, you're not going to be able to really live your life without the expectations from other people. And if you put your expectations in someone else and then they let you down and disappoint you, then here comes that negativity right back, and the negative self-talk, and oh, I deserved this, or oh, why did I do that? And then you hate another person, and it's a cycle. It's very vicious, it's stressful, And at the end of the day, doesn't anybody want to be there? Most recently, I have been in an amazing place in my life. I got out of a really, really toxic relationship, and ever since then, I've done nothing but find myself more and more. And it is a beautiful, beautiful thing to be just content with yourself. I'm not saying anybody needs to be alone, and I'm not saying that you have to, be single in order to learn these things about yourself. But at the end of the day, we've all been in a situation where we've been negative, and nobody's going to be positive all the time. Everybody's going to have things that happen to them that stress them out. We have a certain set amount of time each day, and some people not even that, because you never know when your last moment's going to be. So let's try to be grateful for every single moment that we have. And if you can be grateful, if you can practice self-care, if you can separate yourself from someone else's negativity, if you can have a good morning routine, if you can set the intention every single day for being positive, and if you can even surround yourself with more positive people, those things can help at least change a little bit of your mentality to make you feel a little bit more positive. All I can really say is just remember that everything starts with intention. If you're intending to be positive, that's why you clicked on this video. So you're already one step ahead. Just be a little bit more intentional, and you got this. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope I could help somebody, anybody. And I will definitely be seeing you guys again soon. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit me on a message if there's any questions that you have. Follow me on Instagram, it's Ninjaz. And yeah, I'm so happy I got to have this with you guys today. Thank you. Bye.